DraftKings Sportsbook is the best place to bet touchdowns. I have teamed up with DraftKings to bring you all your favorite ways to bet touchdowns as we start to wrap up this NFL season. New customers can turn $5 into $300 if your bet wins. Paid in bonus bets, the crown is yours. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the code Sonnen, stay on the action, and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Love the thrill of live betting? Bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code SONNEN and bet just $5 on any wager and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. PFL founder Dom Davis has stepped down, and that's sad. If you guys know Don, that's actually sad. Great guy, hard working guy, had a vision, worked 7 days a week to see this vision come about. Now, one thing that I would hear Don say often that I knew it was a covenant. He fully believed it, and when I would hear him say it, I'd think, yeah, I don't fully believe that. It was just the idea of the PFL and how many highly ranked athletes they had. It wasn't an untrue statement. PFL had a whole bunch of really highly ranked athletes. And while they were trying to get number one, they didn't have number one. But they had a lot of 6, 7, 8, 9. They had a lot of top 10 talent under the roster. The question that becomes, what do you do with them? And the simple answer is you have them fight each other. You have the two highest ranked athletes that you can fight one another. That's just not the answer that works, right? I mean, you've got to have fun. You've got to have fun and interesting fights. And there is no word in the industry from a business standpoint that trumps anticipation. You have to have fights that create an anticipation. No matter the wow moment, no matter the highlight reel or what the finish looked like or what the outcome or what the upset stunned us with. If people were not looking ahead to that fight, if they did not have an anticipation, it's Thursday. This fight's on Friday. I can barely sleep. It's Friday. I'm getting up without my alarm clock because I'm so excited. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, it's noon. I got to wait 4 more hours East Coast time. When you have an anticipation and the punches and the kicks are not enough. They've set up enough cages, and that wasn't always true. There was a period of time where if you could put a cage and put somebody in there, the cage was enough. Vince McMahon and the WWE showed us that. Vince McMahon would double ticket prices when the match took place in his cage. Remember his cage? He had that blue cage. Nobody knew why it was blue, but it was blue. And it wasn't a fenced, like inmates would be in. Vince had like this actual enclosure in this blue cage, and it even had a top on it where you couldn't just crawl out anyway. Turned it into toys, turned it into all sorts of things. But when you walked in, it was a spectacle. Whatever they were getting ready to do, they were going to do it in that cage. And it was a big deal. So now that you live in a time where we need more, what is that more and how do you go out and get it? And as the promoter, as the event organizer, is that your job? Or is it your job to teach this to your athletes, get them to engage in social media, get them organically going after one another, throw 10 different fights and challenges at a wall till one of them sticks, find that one and sign it. That seems to be a much safer path. Now, Don Davis stepping down, that's a blow, by the way. Really hardworking and good guy. But in the same article, it gets revealed to us that Jake Paul is no longer under contract with the PFL. And I had to sit up in my chair and say, Jake Paul was under contract with the PFL? And then I kind of started to remember that. There was a signing with Jake Paul. And was he going to box, or was he going to box around and MMA around? And that whole thing got a little bit weird, but the real message was just that Jake was willing. Jake wanted to do it, and Jake has now found a home to do that at in the PFL. And I think before the sickness, before Ben Askren went through some of his personal health issues, I think there was a likelihood of I think there was a good possibility of getting Ben and Jake in there, but they just all seemed to die down, and it was so long ago, I don't know that I'm remembering it perfectly. And why didn't we get it? Why didn't we get in there and do that? What happened with Jake Paul, or at least the teasing of it, the flaunting it, the Jake Paul showing up at the events, the Jake Paul using himself as a magnet to attract other guys that start calling him out? Like, what exactly happened there? It doesn't appear that they are on bad terms, but you got two pretty good signings. You can build some anticipation with the right opponent against Francis Ngannou, and you could build some anticipation with nearly any opponent against Jake Paul. So what happened? Why didn't we get those? And there's such a balance. And on one hand, what I'm telling you, you got to have balance, you got to have the right guys, and the punches and the kicks are not enough. On that one hand, I see another article come out, and it's Dana White swatting down the idea of George Masvidal versus Conor McGregor, talking about that's ridiculous and makes no sense. Now that ties into with what I told you just yesterday, when I told you there was no way they were going to do Conor McGregor versus George Masvidal, because it doesn't make any kind of sense. And by the way, if they're the only two named guys you've got on your roster, you don't have a choice but to put them in there. We'll figure out the sense it makes later. Let's get them into the ring. Like, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to put Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, or Joshua against Jake Paul, or for a minute there they were trying to do Francis Ngannou versus Jake Paul. But it does satisfy the anticipation. It does make you wonder what's going to happen. It is the one place that you can get this, and the PFL under contract was the one place you could get Jake Paul, who turned out to be really good at fighting, where you could get him to do a level of MMA, and I've just forgotten. I don't have the answer for you. I don't know why that died down. I don't know why athletes didn't call him out. I don't know why Jake didn't start showing up at events or calling other guys. I mean, if there's ever been a master of making a fight, right? I mean, he's the guy, you give him a little flour, a little water, and an egg, and he's going to turn you back fresh-baked cookies. Like, just give him the parts as long as he gets to be one of the parts, and so far, magic has happened. And I would generally speculate that there was some kind of hard feelings, but I never heard about them. I never heard anybody pointing their finger this way, or Jake saying, I don't like the way things go over here. It sounds like there was a contract, and the contract had an expiration date, and the expiration date was met. So why? Why didn't we use Jake Paul? Wouldn't we like to have seen Jake Paul? And if Jake Paul is going to do MMA, it would appear that he's not going to do it in the PFL. Like, the idea of Jake stepping forward and going, my next event is going to be in MMA, I think we can exclude it's not going to be in the PFL, considering he had a contract so long that he ran it out. He's always wanted to fight in the UFC. The UFC doesn't generally let a guy come over with zero experience. And I'm not suggesting for you that they're going to now. I'm suggesting for you there's one other place. If you can sell and draw, and you have a fan base that wants to come watch you do something known as mixed martial arts, there's now just one place. So the real question is, Jake Paul going to the UFC?